Hi there, and thank you for joining me on another cooking video. Today I'm going to show you how I make chicken satay on sticks. Now these can be done either on the grill or on a barbecue. If you're a fan of chicken satay, then these are really quite nice. And the satay sauce is delicious with quite a bit of bite to it. So please watch the video, and to help my channel grow, then please hit the subscribe button and the like button. Thank you for watching. So here's a list of the ingredients that you'll need. I've broken it down to the main chicken and any accompaniments and the marinade and the satay sauce. They're fairly straightforward, and all these ingredients can be bought at your local supermarket, and I will show you how they're put together and prepared to make the meal. Okay, so we'll start off with the marinade. So we need 4 spring onions. We're just going to wash them, and then they're going to be sliced. Pretty straightforward. Just put them all into a bowl, because all of your marinade ingredients will go into the bowl, and then you'll add the chicken. So just slice the spring onions. Okay, so we need a couple of cloves of garlic, so I'm just going to top and tail those and peel them. This will get crushed into the marinade. Now the chicken, basically we're just going to cut this into chunks basically. They need to go onto skewers, so reasonable sized chunks. First of all, you want to remove all the bits that you don't want with the chicken, so just cut those off with a pair of scissors. Right, now you're just going to cut it into chunks to put into the bowl with your other marinade ingredients. I always check each piece to make sure that there's nothing on there that I don't want to eat. So, because chicken breast never comes completely clean, there's always bits that you don't want there. Right, now we're going to add a couple of tablespoons of brown sugar. And you want 3 tablespoons of sunflower oil. And the same with lemon juice. Now you're going to add some soy sauce. You need a fair amount of soy sauce, just to not to totally cover the chicken, but enough to make sure that every piece of chicken is covered. And then you're going to crush in the garlic. So it's 2 pieces of garlic just crushed into the marinade. Now you're just going to mix it all up. Make sure that every piece of chicken is covered in the marinade. And then you're going to put it in the fridge for a couple of hours. Minimum of 2 hours, I would suggest. Cover it with a plate and then pop it in the fridge. Now we're going to prepare the lettuce. I mean, this is just basically what the chicken will go on once it's cooked. So I'll just put it all into a bowl initially, because we're going to mix some cucumber in with this. Cucumber is good to offset the heat from the satay sauce. So we're going to chop up the cucumber, or part of a cucumber. You don't need a whole cucumber for this, you just need some of it. I've taken the skin off. Now I'm just going to slice it and then quarter each slice, and then pop it into the salad bowl. I mean, obviously with the salad you can add whatever you want to it, really, because basically this is just an accompaniment, as I said, to go with the chicken. So you can have any type of salad you want. Right, we're going to cut up ginger now and chop it up. This is basically going into the satay sauce itself. It's not part of the salad. So I've just peeled it, or peeled part of it, and then I'm just going to slice off what I need, as this will get chopped up and put into the satay sauce. So just chopping up the ginger. It's actually probably slightly more ginger than we need. We need about 1.5 tablespoons of ginger. There's a bit more than that there. Right, so now we're going to start putting the peanut butter, which is going to be smooth peanut butter, that's what I use, into the saucepan, and you need 250 grams of that. So basically I put the pan on the scale, zero it, and then just weigh in 250 grams of peanut butter. Right, now to start cooking the satay sauce. So, as it says, you need 250 grams of peanut butter, which we've already weighed out. We're going to set the heat on a medium heat. Just wait for it to start melting. Or liquefying, I guess. So you start off with 175 millilitres of milk. You're going to be adding more milk as you progress with this because it seems to absorb milk quite well and it thickens up a lot, especially when you add the coconut. So initially you start off with 175 millilitres and then you're going to be adding more. Keep stirring it all the time, because otherwise it will stick to the bottom of the pan. As I said, you got this on a medium heat. Bit more milk. Right, now we're going to crush in our garlic, 2 cloves, it's all fairly straightforward. More milk, starting to thicken up again. I mean, you want it fairly thick at the end when it's fully cooked, but if it's too thick then it's unusable really. Because as I said before, it will thicken up, especially when you add the coconut. So you're adding 30 grams of creamed coconut there, and then you're going to melt that in. Tablespoon of brown sugar, mix that in. When you're actually doing this, you just, as you add each ingredient, you just mix it in, and when it's fully mixed in, then you add the next one. There's no real time period for letting things simmer before you add the next ingredient. Just make sure everything's mixed in as you add it. Because what we're going to do at the end is put it on a low heat whilst we actually cook the chicken. So now we're putting in 1.5 tablespoons of the chopped ginger. Mix that in. We just add a bit of salt and pepper to season it. The salt sort of offsets the sugar that you put in earlier, so it sort of balances it out. And some pepper. We're going to be adding cayenne pepper in a bit, and also Madras Curry Paste. So that is what will give it the heat, not the pepper you've just put in there. When you're doing this, you're constantly stirring to make sure that nothing sticks to the bottom of the pan. It shouldn't do anyway, really, if you've got it on a medium heat. So that's 1.5 tablespoons of dark soy sauce, and mix all that in. Notice the way it bubbles up when it's sat in the pan. It's like a hot mud pool you get in places like Rotorua or Yellowstone. One of those volcanic mud pools. Just bubbles. Quite interesting. Right, now you want 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Mix it all in. Now 2 teaspoons of Hot Madras Curry Paste. This is what gives it its bite. Lovely stuff. It also adds a lot of flavour to the satay sauce as well. And just keep stirring. I always do this and then put it on a low heat covered before I do the chicken, because you can't really, this takes all your time and attention, and you can't monitor what the meat's doing whilst you're cooking this at the same time. So it's better to do this first and then do the chicken afterwards, and just leave this on the hob on a low heat with a lid on. It will form a bit of a skin, but you just break that up when you're ready to put it into bowls. Now you want 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And once that's mixed in, you want to turn the heat right down to low. That's when you slap the lid on. About exactly the right consistency now for satay sauce, and you don't want it to lose any more moisture, so you just put the lid on. So now it's time to thread the chicken onto sticks. I'm just using 4 sticks here. Obviously it all, how much chicken you use depends on how many people you're feeding, but we're just feeding 2, so basically it's 2 sticks each. I guess if you want more, you'll have to cook more. Now normally with bamboo skewers, they would, especially if you put this on a barbecue, you would want to soak them in water for at least an hour before actually using them over heat, because otherwise they'll just catch fire and burn. But because we're using an electric grill, which is heated, which radiates the heat from above, they'll get a bit black, but they won't burn. Not to the point of catching fire anyway. So you're going to pop those under the grill and just every now and then monitor it and turn it. So that's after its first grilling. So you need to turn it over onto a side which hasn't been cooked yet, and it's hot. You can see the sticks are starting to change colour, but they're not going to catch on fire, which is what they would do if you put it on a barbecue. In fact, probably with barbecues it's better to have metal sticks. In fact, yes, I would wholly recommend metal sticks on a barbecue, because they will catch fire whether you soak them or not. Okay, so you're going to turn these again. Yes, they're quite hot. Basically, you just want to make sure that they're cooked all the way around. Back into the grill. They normally cook in about 20 minutes, so it doesn't take that long. So in the meantime, you're going to start putting your satay sauce into ramekins or some little dishes, whatever you've got. Now people can either just spoon satay sauce onto their plates from the ramekins or dip their chicken into it. It's up to them. The plates. Just put an even amount of salad onto each plate. Make sure you got plenty of, you share the cucumber out between each plate as well. And out come the finished chicken satay skewers. What I do, I just put them on top of the salad, and then it's up to the person who's eating it to actually take them off the sticks. Lovely. So there you have it, chicken satay on sticks with satay sauce. They are really nice and they're not difficult to cook at all, quite easy really, and it doesn't take that long. So if you enjoyed watching this, then please hit the like button, and if you want to see future videos that I produce, and I bring one out every week, then please hit the subscribe button. That would be very much appreciated and it would help me to grow this channel. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully see you next time.